he was one of my artists also.
Was it for Buffy?
Oh yeah, no, but you mentioned Dan Jurgens before. He's a writer and artist, and he's done work on a lot of books. Predominantly, it looks like Superman books. He's done some Harley Quinn, Thor, just all kinds of different stuff.
Wild. But he's doing an okay job so far in Nightwing. He's doing an okay job so far in Nightwing, Doug. But yeah, that's not my pick of the week, so I'm not going to talk about that. Did you guys read Buffy?
I did.
You both read Buffy.
Yes.
So technically, we can all talk about this book. This would be our first shaved book. It is your pick of the week?
It was my pick of the week, too.
Oh, was it?
Sudo's pick of the week, too.
Ding, 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 ding.
It was a good book.
It was a good book.
It was better than all the other books I read. At the highest score.
Okay, well,
really?
do you want to run through what books you had this week, since it's going to be like a double thingy?
So yeah, this week I also have Justice League 22. Should I say the writers and stuff, or is it the same?
I mean, for Justice League, you don't have to.
Same writers. I gave that one a 7.5 out of 10 staples. Felt that the art fell short on it, and it felt it kind of whelming, as you were saying earlier. Amazing Spider-Man 19. Who?
Right.
Once again, I gave that one a lower score of 6.5 out of 10. Writer Nick Spencer, Chris Bocciolo, and Greg Land is the cover artist. I just felt the art was kind of I don't care.
For those side stories?
I just find myself not caring.
I dug it. It was alright. I mean, it wasn't the most memorable book for me, but it was a decent book.
I just think the art's terrible. I think the direction it's going. But then I also had Buffy number 3, because we had to catch up on that one.
Yep.
And then Buffy number 4, and also Angel number 0.
We're not talking about Angel number 0.
I will say, for Buffy number 3, I liked it. I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. Felt it was rushed.
For 3 or 4?
3. I haven't gotten to 4 yet. 3 I felt rushed. I felt like they kind of, it was a quick episode. Angel I'm going to jump over, and I gave that a 7.5 out of 10. Majority of it was, the first little bit of it was the end of the 4th issue of Buffy's, but I still was cool to see. I gave it a much higher score than Justice League, because it was like, oh, it's cool, it's a different part of Angel than we never had really seen before.
Yeah.
Which was an interesting take. It was, for me, it's all new. But for Buffy number 4, I gave it 8 out of 10. Felt it was a little rushed on it as well. I felt like it could have done a couple more pages. But for me, I'm just gonna say I thought it was the best thing, and the best thing I love about this is the focus on Xander.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
But that's...
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he's my all-time favorite character from the show, and if I projected myself into it, I'd beat that guy ever. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed that snippet into his world and his mind and how he's thinking and feeling and how that doesn't change.
Just like day by day, it's like a thing that's gonna be consistent.
I mean, it's an issue that faced kids when the show was on the air, and it's an issue that faces kids nowadays.
Yep.
All the same, and that it's just social awkwardism and all that kind of thing, and having a sense of not belonging in that. I just think that's just something that never changes.
It's universal.
Yeah, it's a universal thing. It's consistent, and it's very relatable on one level or another to people.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, I'm enjoying the art in these books. They continue to just be like you're watching the show, but it's in a comic book form, like animated form, possibly.
I agree on that one. The art, you can see who the characters are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you're the wife, and you think that that's Dark Willow, no, that's Drusilla.
Oh yeah, Bambi.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the cover, one of the covers that I got for number 4 with Xander, that's surrounded by vampires, angels behind him, and she thought that the person next to Angel was Dark Willow, and that's pretty obviously Darla. I think it looks like Darla.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Did you get this cover?
It does look like Drusilla.
But she said Dark Willow.
You said Darla.
It is Darla.
Is it Darla?
Yes!
What? Sorry.
It looks like Darla.
No.
Alright, let's put up a
Darla.
poll.
It is Darla.
I'm like,
Yeah.
it's either Dark Willow, Drusilla, or Darla, and one of them's right.
I like
It's
the art.
Darla.
For the most part, there are some characters that, like Cordelia, kind of like, I find her, like, she's got the little highlights at the end of her hair, which kind of confuses me, I think, like, is that Anya? Like, but then the face, like, no, that's not. It's just, like, it's different enough to where I'm kind of still kind of, like, as the series gets along, I'll be like, okay, yeah, that's her.
The Anya's the only one that I have difficulties with, usually. I'm like, she doesn't really look like Anya, but I guess she sort of looks like Anya.
Right.
She's kind of got the attitude of Anya.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
she
straight
100%
up.
has the attitude of Anya.
Yeah, for sure.
I like her. 3 intrigued me just because it was cool that they kind of jumped. It was a continuous of the last issue. We had the Bat, which was cool. It was actually a helper of the Slayers.
Yeah.
And like Buffy went to fight it, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And he's like, "Why are you hurting me?" I'm like, "That's cool," because that was the stuff that was present in the shows a lot.
Yeah.
There was not always a clear present. Evil demons aren't always just straight up evil.
Lauren.
Lauren. There is a fine line. Evil can be, demons can be good.
Yeah.
Monsters don't always act as monsters. It's just how you treat them.
Yeah.
And that's cool. I like that. But I just felt it was a little rushed. I felt like it was just kind of a quick issue. But 4.
Well, it could have just been that there was a lot of action and fighting happening. Of course, Spike and Drusilla also show back up in that book, which I like Spike.
I like Spike. Spike seems a little bit less
Angsty
and less Billy Idol about it, and he seems a little bit more of the
Billy
older.
Idol stole his look from Spike. Thank you.
Right. He seems calm, cool, and collected, Spike, which has always kind of been Spike, but the thing that's different to me is he seems a little bit more subservient to Drusilla, who, of course, sired him in the show as well, and whatever, but it just seems like he's more, I'm her minion kind of thing.
She's also less flighty than less.
Definitely. Yeah.
And she's more of a conniving evil. She's kind of like the first was in the first season.
I feel that.
And she's Drusilla. And I'm like,
Right.
but they really kind of haven't alluded to this.
She's also very Darla-y because there's no Darla.
Yeah.
But she seems more sort of mastermind.
Very much so, because Darla was, whereas she was, I just want to play.
Yeah.
Whereas Darla's well, we can still play, but let's get, aggressive about it.
Right.
I don't think Drusilla would have attacked Anya in the show.
I don't think directly, probably not.
Not like it happened in the book.
Right.
But this 4th one, it was kind of we kind of figured out the blue screen is Xander now.
Yeah.
And I think that they're gonna. I like that they're kind of doing that like they did in Justice League. You can tell which character is what by the bubble. That's cool. And it's kind of like a lot of the inner monologue, as we were saying, we related to. I related to that stuff in high school. You know, there was that one person you were like you're friends with, but you loved them, but you couldn't. You know, there was that friendship because it was never.
Oh yeah, plenty.
There's always been that way. That's relatable. The
unrequited love.
There's that. Then there's the social awkwardness. The
I got that.
Understanding about not being able to fit in or feeling part of something. But I like that they've kind of jumped forward. Like, how long forward do you think they jump? Because they're comfortable with the Scooby Squad format. Like,
honestly, I think it's only been like maybe a month.
Well, the Homecoming, they mentioned that.
Oh yeah.
Right.
There was the Homecoming thing, so I'm like, it might have been
Cordelia
a couple
won.
months.
So it was like 2 weeks. So yeah, I'm gonna say a month.
I like seeing that there's more to this than like because in the show Willow and Xander were just like, oh, we'll research stuff, but they were never like training.
One of my favorite things is that they actually like start training to learn how to fight instead of being like the damsels and just book nerds and sitting in the back not really doing anything. I really like that.
Xander straight up saved Buffy.
Yeah. With a shovel to the head of Drusilla.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Good stuff.
But that's just really good how they're doing it. It's a different take on the character. It's nice to see that they're giving him a little bit more dimension. Not that they lacked any dimension in the previous, but
even more so now.
There's stuff that I felt could have been put into the old that's nice now. And I love it. It's still the same likeness and stuff.
Yeah. It's great.
I liked the little shots of what we saw of like their social lives outside of the Scooby Gang and outside of school. We saw all three. Like, there's the Scooby Gang, there's school, and then there's what they do when they're not doing those things. And Giles is hanging out with Jenny Calendar, and it doesn't pull your heartstrings and make you want to cry at all. Because she dies.
Yeah.
Where was that? Was that in this 4th issue? Oh, wow. I just read them so quickly. I was like...
Giles can play the guitar?
Oh, yeah, I remember that. She's like, well, here's this part. Oh. I remember her daydreaming about Spike.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Cordy's daydreaming about Spike because, you know, it's...
Yeah.
Because of Twilight.
I don't... Yeah, right. I don't mind the rewrites and stuff, or whatever the changes.
The small changes with what they are,
Yeah, and all. I love that. That's kind of... I always go back to Smallville, because I loved Smallville. It was great.
Also, we watch it every Wednesday, so it's usually fresh on the mind.
For sure.
Not you.
I don't watch it every Wednesday.
But Ooze and I do. I mean, they've changed so much, and it was such a, like, so far off from the original Superman story or whatever, but it was great and enjoyable, entertaining and stuff, and so this comic seems to be keeping up with that same thing that we loved with the original show.
Yep.
And that's cool.
Which is what we'll be watching when we're done with Smallville.
Yeah, for sure. Going back to Buffy.
Well, really, is that what you guys decided?
Yes.
And I will continue to be sitting upstairs listening to music that has no words otherwise. I can't do that and read at the same time. I have to listen to either non-music or just silence.
See, that puts a kibosh on my... I had the idea we should sit around and read our comics together as we listen to DC Universe shows in the background. Because...
But that's also something we've never watched.
I know.
That's what you were going to talk about. The DC Universe.
Oh, right.
The fates hanging in the balance.
Yeah, there's a lot of speculation. Yeah.
But that's off topic.
Yeah.
Anyways, Buffy ends with a cliffhanger.
Yes.
Xander thinks he's gonna go hang out with Buffy alone, but Buffy had lost her phone in the previous episode, or the issue, and I can't hear myself talk and talk at the same time. Right. It was really bad. And